Today we are going to deal with contractor has to cancel an order for the supply of materials owing to a variation. Can he pass on to the employer a claim he received from the suppliers for the loss of profit? Introduction. Architects and engineers authorized to give variation in construction projects. These variations often put contractors to substantial additional expenses. Standard conditions of contracts are not always precise as to how variations are to be valued. Arguments take place as to whether a particular item of expenditure may be recovered from the employer. Legal precedent. The Court of Appeal had to make a decision on the disputed item of course resulting from a variation. In the case of Tingram Garage Limited versus Dew Group and Northwest Water, 1996. As a result of a variation, the contractor had to cancel an order from a supplier who claimed for the loss of profit. The contractor sought reimbursement from the employer. Early 1989, Northwest Water commissioned the construction and installation of line sluice valves and 11 inches flow measuring chambers, plus other works at Oswestry water treatment works. Dew was the main contractor and the contract signed under IECE 5th edition. Part of the contract's work involved the removal and replacement of sand and gravel filter media and drainage tiles with new precast concrete under drainage blocks and a new filter media. The blocks had to be specially manufactured. Northwest Water inspected the Gryphone's premises, and in April 1989, Dew placed an order with Grumman for 282,354 blocks at 90 pence each, thus 2.5 discount for monthly settlement. The reverse of Dew's order stated 14.1. In the event the contract works in connection with which his order is given being suspended or abandoned, the contractor shall have the right to cancel any order by written notice given to the subcontractor, vendors or supplier, shall be entitled to payment as provided by the terms of the main contract. No allowance, however, will be made on account of loss of profit on uncompleted portion of the order. Gryphone manufactured 74,580 blocks, 72,480 of which were delivered to site or were about to be delivered. On September 20th, Northwest Water's resident engineer instructed Dew to cancel the order with Gryphone as the specification has been changed. On 26th September, Dew wrote to Gryphone confirming the telephone cancellation and wrote to Northwest Water stating that the change in the specification could lead to additional cost. Gryphone claimed 729,000.15 for loss of profit on the 209,874 blocks which had been ordered but not delivered, plus 1,740 for the cost of mold manufactured to satisfy Dew's order. Dew passed his claim to Northwest Water. Northwest Water requested a further breakdown of Gryphone's claim and eventually paid the cost of the mold. Refused to make any payment in respect of loss of profit emanating from the cancellation of the order. The matter went before court, before County country court in Newport, where Greyhound claimed the loss of profit from Dew. Dew replied upon clause 14 of the contract and sought an indemnity from the Northwest Water. Greyhound was awarded 38,284 plus interest of 18,663.45, but court declined to make any award by way of indemnity in the third-party proceedings. While the judge expressed sympathy with Dew, as it had merely done as instructed by the engineer, there was no main contract provision which enabled the court to make any award in respect of Greyhound's loss of profit. Was an integral part of that cost, and that to be exclude that part from the valuation of the work was unfair. Westwater's defense had been that Dew could not claim an indemnity under clause 52.1, not that Dew could have avoided the payment of the loss of profit. Dew appealed. It was held that clause 51 of the contract between Northwest Water Limited and Dew Group Limited gives the employer the right to make any variation comprised within the wide scope of clause 51.1. It is unnecessary to decide in this appeal whether a contract containing such a clause would have been legally binding, one party having the right unilaterally to vary in terms of the contract. If it had not been for its inclusion for a further provision expressed in clause 52.1, whereby a fair valuation has to be made. The fair valuation for the variation is intended to provide a fair compensation to the contractor for any adverse financial effect upon it resulting from unilateral variation. We assume, therefore, that the validity of the head contract is not affected by clause 51.51 because of the provision for fair compensation in the event of loss resulting to the contractor from a unilateral variation. If the employer was or should have been well aware that the contractor would not itself be supplier of the concrete blocks, but there would be purchased under a subcontract, the employer was or should have been equally unaware that the result of the variation which was made, the cancellation of the order for 209,804 concrete blocks, would necessarily result in a loss of profit for the subcontractor. Greyhound, since the contractor would be contractually bound under the head contract to pass on the subcontractor the variation consisting of the cancellation. The court found in favor of Dew, who are entitled to recover from Northwest Water the sum paid to their supplier Greyhound for the loss of profit arising from the cancellation of the part of the order for the supplying of blocks. Summary: the engineer, when carrying out a fair valuation under IC conditions of contract in respect of a variation to omit work which includes material received from a supplier, should provide fair compensation to the contractor for any adverse financial effect upon it resulting from the variation. It would include a legitimate loss of profit claim from the supplier. Thank you.